So we're continuing the Sefer V'Ani Tamid Imach with the very end of the Sheila Beis, and the last thing he had talked about, he got into the discussion of success in learning, but then he had mentioned that even if a person feels like he's not matzlich in learning, let him put in an effort to keep Torah mitzvahs the best that he can, and even if it's mitzvahs that he doesn't feel is so chashiv, in the eyes of Hashem it could be very chashiv. And we talked last time about Devorah Hanaviyah and what zchus she had. He says an astounding thing. And he's about to, I want to read you a paragraph. This is in a footnote in Daf Ayin Gimel. And this is from the Sefer Zarua. So Zarua is one of the great Rishonim. So this is what I'm about to read is not, it's not a Baba Maisa. This is one of the Rishonim who wrote this. And by the way, the Zarua, the reason why he called his Sefer Zarua Latzadik L'Shalev Simcha, it's called Zarua, is because he writes in his Akdama that there was a shaila how to spell the name Akiva. Because Rav Akiva in the Gemara is with an aleph. Do you spell with an aleph? Do you spell with a hey? Because Rav Akiva was killed in a terrible way, so do you maybe change the name to change the mazel a little bit? And he said that in a dream he saw the words Or Zarul Atzadik Yishalev Simcha in fire, and the last letters of that pasuk spell Rav Akiva. And he felt that that was a simon from Shemayim of how to spell the name. And he also felt that Hakar Satayv, such a miracle happened to him that he had such a shkacha pratis, he wanted to name the sefer. You're talking about one of the biggest Rishonim to ever live. He writes the following. Hikarti Yehudi Echad me Worms. I remember a Jew who lived in the city of Worms. Vayukar Noisa Rav Bunim. His name was Rav Bunim. Vayuzakin v'karvi Mesim. He was an older yid, and he's part of the Chaver Kedisha. V'shemati el Nochain bela emes. And I heard the following story, and it's truthful. Shebamachas hishkim lebeis haknesses. That one time this Rav Bunim went to shul. V'ro adam echad yoshev nebeis haknesses. And he saw one yid that was standing there by the shul. U'baroishe keser shalasavim shekarin tzefel. And he had some sort of a wreath around his head. And this Rav Bunim started getting very nervous because he felt that this person was a demon. He wasn't alive. Why? So we'll see in a moment. He recognized this person. He was part of the Chaver Kedisha. He had buried this person. And he said to him, didn't I bury you? So this is a real Maisa Shahaya. So the person said, yes, I'm no longer alive, you buried me. So what exactly are you doing here? He said, you should know I'm doing very, very well. And he explains. So the person said, what schus do you have? Because he said, I remember you. You seemed like a Pasha Yid. And all of a sudden you're being sent from Shemayim. And that's not, they don't do that for simple people. He said, I had one schus. I would go to shul, and I would say the brachas out loud very nicely. And in that schus, they sent me, I'm in Gan Eden, and everything's, I have a lot of covet. And the person said, I'll prove it to you that I'm the person that passed away, and this is a true story. He said, if you look at my sleeve, and he showed him his sleeve was torn. He says, and you remember when you buried me, you tore my, he apparently tore that robe accidentally when he was dressing in the tachrichim. And he said, I'm still wearing it. You see, my coat is ripped. So the person said to this Rav Bunim said to the nifter, what are you wearing on your head? And he answered, hey, masavim sheganedim. They're the grass of Gan Eden. And they put it on my head to remove any bad odor that comes from this world, and to purify me weiter. So the Arzura writes this. I wrote this story so that a person takes it to heart that when he goes to shul, or even doesn't go to shul, he says the brachas nicely with kavana, with kol na'im. That's a Maisa from the Arzura. What's the message? Saying the brachas is not a big deal in people's minds. But in Mamish, this Pasha Yid was Zaycha to have Gan Eden Mamish, and be Zaycha to go to a shul, to have a Gilui, whatever this means, because of that schus. It just reminds you simple things that might be simple to us, it's not so simple. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow.